Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, it's Friday, it snowed, and we gotta go oot in a boot. So I'll tell you what, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I will get us out of the neighborhood onto the real road where hopefully it'll be a little better, and I'll tell you what we're up to. First of all, y'all, I feel like I should address the elephant in the room, which is that I got a new camera and I kind of know how to work it, but I really kind of don't. So I have no idea how this whole thing is going to turn out, but we're going to make the best of it. So we're heading out in a boot, and normally on a Friday we go that way because we have PT, but as y'all know, we're on a break. So we don't have PT today. We got a bunch of other stuff to do. So we got to run to the store and get some stuff. And we got to go to a couple of different stores. And one of the things I want to do is, y'all know that we use Weight Watchers. Well, among other things, we use Weight Watchers to track, we track points, but like to sort of keep up with our eating, like what we're eating, if we're eating enough, if we're eating too much, whatever. And Weight Watchers recently changed their system, or like added some things to, like, adjusted their system, I guess, to make potatoes, among other things, to make potatoes and oatmeal 0 points. And y'all, I've not been eating potatoes because they were pointy. And I figured if I was going to eat starchy things with points, I was going to eat white rice like a good Cuban girl. Well, now that potatoes are 0 points, I'm going to try to eat more potatoes than, well, not more than rice, but eat more potatoes than I have been. So that's my goal now, is to find some good potato recipes, or I say recipes, y'all know I don't follow a recipe, but some good potato dishes to eat, like Weight Watchers friendly potato dishes, because now that the potatoes are 0 points, that kind of gives us more flexibility with other things that we can do with them. So we talked about smashed potatoes a couple weeks ago. Well, I'll show you when we get home. I found something, and y'all know when I find something new, if it's new to me, it's new to everybody, and we got to make a big deal about it, and we got to try it and like do different things with it and experiment with it. So that's what we gonna do. So I got to run and get some things, and like I said, we don't have PT, so we're off of that today. And did I tell y'all the intern is out of town? So he and his buddies, one of his buddies has a cabin in the woods a couple hours away. So a couple times a year they go there and like hang out and do guy stuff, which, please do not misunderstand, that is completely fine with me. So this is their winter retreat, which, like, I'm trying to help him understand that like hanging out in the woods and doing guy stuff with the guys does not a retreat make, but whatever. Y'all go do you. So the intern is out of our hair, so I'm going to say this and it's going to sound ugly, but I don't have to worry about like feeding the intern. So I can just make whatever I want for dinner for the next few days, which is good because y'all, the weight, I'm telling you. Now, I know it's not bad and it's only a couple of pounds, but again, I've not gotten myself back in check. And it's like every week I make like one bad choice. And I know that Weight Watchers lets us, like if you make a bad choice, you just count the points and move on. Well, I mean, apparently I'm counting the points and moving on, but my scale is not counting the points and moving on. So I'm hoping that with the intern gone for a few days, I will be able to make good choices. And not that I feel confined or whatever by like having to eat by his schedule or eat around his schedule or make, whatever. But I am more flexible to be able to eat things that I need to eat to get myself back on track, because I've gained a couple of pounds, but I just find it disconcerting that I haven't lost those couple of pounds that I'd gained, because y'all, I'm off the peanut butter. And like that was my big thing, was I was like, I'm gonna get off the peanut butter and the weight's gonna fall, because I was eating kind of a lot of peanut butter, and I've stopped eating the peanut butter, but I'm still eating oatmeal. So we're gonna trust that Weight Watchers knows what they're doing. I'm gonna follow the plan for a while, and hopefully things are going to get better. So I got to go to, you know what, Sam's Club is up here. So let me pull in to the Sam's Club and we'll sit here and talk, because then I have to go to the Walmart and pick up, like, I have to go into the Sam's, but at the Walmart, they're going to bring me my groceries. And y'all remember last week when I tried to sit there and talk to y'all, was it last week or week before, when I tried to sit there and talk to y'all at the Walmart, and I don't know, I looked like a getaway driver waiting for my felon to come out of the bank or something. I looked all crazy. So we ain't doing that again. So let me pull into the Sam's and get parked, and then I will tell y'all I have some ideas about potatoes that we can make. So Lord have mercy, this, I was gonna say Lord have mercy, this traffic, y'all. There's actually now it's 2 cars. There are 2 cars that I have to wait for before I can turn. Lord have mercy, this traffic. So yeah, so I have a list of potato dish ideas that we can make now, because with the potatoes being 0 points, we can be a little more liberal, I guess, with the things that we add to them. So let me get parked and I'll be right back. Whoa. Y'all missed it. I totally just almost got my clock cleaned driving through the Sam's Club parking lot. So I decided to park way out here in the back 40, where now folks is driving all, oh, you know what? I'm right by the gas station. So that's not going to be low traffic. Anyway, so let's talk about, I have a list. Of course I have a list. Let's talk about some things that we can do with potatoes, because y'all, I'm not going to do all these things with potatoes today. And I didn't like start 3 weeks ago filming myself making potato dishes. So we're going to talk about some dishes we can make with potatoes. And then I'm going to go home, do a yoga, and then we'll make some stuff. So let's start with roasted potatoes. How delicious does that sound, y'all? We can just cut up potatoes, throw some, like toss them in a little bit of olive oil, and then season them with all kinds of different stuff. Like, and these, we don't even have to add pointy seasoning stuff to them. Like, you can just do an oregano, like garlic and oregano, or even just garlic, or maybe a little bit of points like garlic and some grated Parmesan. Delish. So what I would do is, again, just toss them in just a tiny bit of olive oil to get them coated. So that'll help the stuff stick to them, and it'll give you a crispy crust. And then I would roast them, like just stick them in an oven at 400 degrees for, I don't know, 35 to maybe 40 minutes, depending on your oven, until they're like fork tender. And y'all, delish. 0 points, or maybe like a tiny bit of points if you put Parmesan on them, but that would be so, so good. You could do potatoes and onions if you don't want to go through that like 40 minutes in the onion deal, 40 minutes in the oven deal. Just slice up some potatoes and slice up some onion, saute the onion a little bit, then throw the potatoes in your pan and put in some kind of liquid, like either water, or you can do a bouillon of some kind. Like if you're going to serve it with beef, do like a beef bouillon, of course I would do a better than bouillon, but beef better than bouillon, or if you're doing it with chicken, do a chicken better than bouillon. So throw that in the pan, cover it up and let it cook. Just let it simmer for a while until your potatoes are like fork tender. So delish. And then you can serve those. Okay, people are actually parking out here in like the nether regions of freaking Sam's Club. I cannot win for losing. But you can serve those just plain old like that, or maybe put a little bit of cheese on top, fat-free cheese, delish, 0 points. Now, if you use bouillon, there's gonna be a tiny bit of points in the bouillon, but seriously, y'all. So you can do roasted, like just a roasted potatoes and onions. Y'all, we can do mashed potatoes, because I'm not going to keep saying this. I am going to keep saying this. The potatoes are 0 points now. So if you mash your potatoes with, like I like to mash my potatoes with that light buttermilk that I use in my dressing. So do a bit of that. Do maybe just a tiny bit of, I use real butter but just a tiny bit of real butter. Salt them good, and then mash them. You don't mush potatoes, you mash potatoes. And then sometimes I'll heat mine back up again and then serve them with fat-free cheese over the top. So good. Or you could use sour cream, you could use fat-free sour cream, you could use Greek yogurt, just depending on how many points you're willing to add to your potatoes, or like how much you need to watch your points. What kind of car is that? Okay, this is what I don't need to do, y'all. I do not need to be sitting out here car shopping, but that thing is big and boxy. Y'all know I like me a big boxy car. So anyway, mashed potatoes are back on the table now, along with, now hash browns, we never took hash browns off the table, right? But now, and like hash browns is a stretch when I call these things hash browns. Y'all know I keep that big old bag of shredded potatoes from the Walmart, and I need to look when I get home. I keep saying I'm going to check today. I think those are 0 points because I really think that's just plain old shredded up potato, because they're not crispy, they're not delicious, they're just plain old potato. And if you don't cook them tasty, they ain't tasty. So it's not like like you can buy frozen like French fries or frozen tater tots or whatever, where they're already cooked and then you just got to heat them up. Those shredded potatoes, they're not like that. So I really think there's 0 points. I'm gonna check when I get home, but as a matter of fact, I'll show y'all later if there's 0 points or not. But so if in fact I am correct and they're just shredded potatoes, y'all, those are 0 points. So that's what we used in the base of our breakfast potato bowl. So we could make any kind of bowls with that. We could do a breakfast bowl, we could do a lunch bowl, we could do a dinner bowl with those. You could use them for a side. You could just make plain old hash browns with them, scattered, smothered, and covered. So hash browns. You could air fryer, use some tater wedges. Now for this, you just, take your potatoes and just cut them into like big, like wedge French fries. And then I don't tend to use cooking spray on stuff, but you can use cooking spray. Y'all might recall, or maybe you don't remember everything I have in my kitchen, but the spray can of olive oil. So I would just spray that with some olive oil and then season it like, sea salt or seasoned salt, or you can just cook it plain old and then put some like powdered ranch dressing on it after, whatever kind of seasoning you want on your tater wedges. But yeah, I would air fry those bad boys at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, good as gold. While we're air frying stuff, y'all, you can make plain old, I haven't been able to find, and y'all let us know in the comments if you know where to find these or I'm still looking around like I'm a getaway driver waiting for my felon to come out of the bank. I apologize for that, y'all. It's because cars are moving around me and I can't not look. French fries. Already cut up and frozen French fries that you can just throw in the air fryer, because all of the ones that I've been able to find, I'm gonna go into the Sam's Club and look again, but all of the ones that I've been able to find are actually French fries. So they're already like pre-fried, so they're not 0 points. But what you can do is cut you up a potato into French fries or slice it thinly into potato chips. Maybe soak it in a little bit of water to suck out some of that starch so it'll get good and crispy. Spritz your olive oil or your cooking spray, whatever you put on it. Salt, and then air fryer it at 400 degrees. Y'all, those potato chips will be crispy, and your French fries should come out like moist on the outside and crispy, moist on the inside and crispy on the outside. But again, let us know if you know where to find already like pre-cut raw potatoes to make French fries. So all of those, 0 points, you can cook them in your air fryer. Just a couple other quick ideas. We're mashing potatoes, y'all. What about a twice baked potato? So bake your potato either in the oven, the air fryer, microwave, wherever you're baking your potato, and then slice it, scoop out the gubbins, and then I usually make a twice baked potato just like I would make mashed potatoes. Mush up the stuff you scoop out and mix it with just a tiny bit of something to make it moist. Like, again, I would use that low-fat buttermilk, mix it up, salt it because that low-fat buttermilk is so bland. Maybe put in some fat-free cheddar cheese, y'all know that's my jam, and then put it back in the potato, bake it for a bit longer, and then put a little bit of the cheese on top, bake it again, and then Bob's your uncle, you got a twice baked potato. And the only points there, you might pick up a little bit of points from that low-fat buttermilk. I'll probably count points for the low-fat buttermilk just because, we round up. But so a twice baked potato, and y'all, we can make potato soup or like chowder, because those are, well, potato. And we've made potato soup before And the points that we got from the potato soup, I think we might have used buttermilk. We used some kind of cream, but the most points, or the majority of the points, what language are you speaking? The majority of the points that we got from the soup was from the potatoes, which y'all, 0 points now. So we can make potato soup, we can make chowder, and of course we know that sweet potatoes are 0 points. So you can just throw a sweet potato in the oven or in the air fryer, eat you a big old sweet potato, and now you can eat you a sweet potato with butter and cinnamon and maybe a tiny bit of sugar, or use your like monk fruit sweetener or whatever. But that little bit of butter, it's not going to kill you because the sweet potato is 0 points. So the only points that you're going to pick up is from that little bit of butter you're going to put on it. Y'all, the times they are a-changing. So I tell you what, let me get out of this spot. Let me pull up over there, go into the Sam's Club, get some stuff. I'm going to go to the Walmart, pick up some stuff. I'm going to go home and do some yoga because I'm a little sore. And then I tell you what, I'm going to meet y'all in the kitchen. I will show y'all what I've discovered, and then we'll make something. All right? So, yeah, next time I see y'all, we'll be back at the house. So I'll see you back there. All right, y'all. All the shopping's done. I know I said that I would see y'all back at the house. I'm sitting at a green light waiting for y'all to answer me when I ask you a question. What? I know I said I would see y'all back at the next time I saw you, and we would be back at the house. And I don't know why I felt the need to come on here and make this disclaimer. I know I told you that this is a new camera and I have no idea what any of this is going to look like. Did I tell y'all that? So I ordered a mount for the camera off of Amazon. And it was supposed to be here yesterday, and I know not to count on Amazon shipping, like normally not to count on Amazon shipping, and especially now that things are all freaking kettywampus, that like it'll get here at some point, like it gets here when it gets here and you'll be happy when it shows up kind of thing. So, oh, my ear just popped. So I wanted to make this like visit with y'all while I was out driving. And the last video that I shot in the car, the audio, like, hopefully you didn't notice how awful the audio was when you watched the video, but it seriously took me hours to get the audio to, like, I feel like the video that I put out, not my book video I put out Friday, but so hopefully you don't go, oh yeah, that book video audio was awful. It wasn't that one. It was the one before when I was in the car. Like, I feel like that audio was mediocre because I spent so long, like, working on it to try to get it right. And it's because the equipment that I was using, like, it has finally just give up the ghost. So I didn't want to go back and use that camera, and I was just so excited to use this new camera that, like, I just had my heart set. I know y'all are like, what are you even talking about? The setup that I have y'all on right now, like the way that I have you attached to my car, is so absolutely janky that it's funny. And I'm hoping that, like, the picture, like, I can see what I look like, I think, but I just felt a need to come on and do a disclaimer that if I look like this, like a, you know, somebody's like buck-toothed redheaded step cousin, that hopefully it will be better next time once I get the actual mount from the Amazons. But yeah, it was supposed to be here yesterday, but it did not get here. When I went to bed last night, late for me, at 9:30 last night, the delivery thing said still arriving today, which it did not. So now today it says that it will be, that it's now rescheduled and should be here by 5 days from now. And the other, so I mean, that's annoying, but the other thing, there are a couple other things in that box, but the other important thing in that box, y'all, is my copy of Onyx Storm, the third Fourth Wing book. Like, seriously, they are lucky I do not have a dragon to get on and fly to Amazon and whoop somebody's. So anyway, that's all. I felt the need to get on here and make that disclaimer. And now I'm going to go to the house and stretch out because apparently I'm a little sore and a little cranky. And so let me go do that, and I will meet y'all in the kitchen. We'll talk about some stuff, and then we'll cook something.
Oh, Brother Thomas, did you walk away from Jesus, wondering if it was all a dream? Did all your doubts creep back and tell you that your fingers hadn't ever touched a single thing? 'Cause I've read that story so many times when you healed that man, he could see perfectly again. But in between her reads that all he saw were menace trees, and that's all that seems to cloud my vision. 'Cause all the friends I have never, ever met you. Does that mean that they deserve to die? But I heard once you came here is love for all of us, not to pull the wood from out of our eyes.
All right, y'all, I have put up most of the groceries. Well, I did the yoga-ing, y'all saw that. I put up most of the groceries, and I just kept out a couple things for us to talk about. Now, building on the theory that we discussed before, which is if it's new to me, it's new to everybody, I want to talk about a couple of things. Y'all, I want to talk about potatoes in a can. Y'all remember how excited I was when I discovered chicken in a can? Part 2. I've discovered potatoes in a can. Now, I have not opened the potatoes in the can, as you can see, but again, as I mentioned, I'm excited to try to make more things with potatoes. Now, I have abandoned my sort of theory that the issue with this weight is that, and y'all, I know, I've not gained a lot of weight, but I'm struggling a little with my weight, like for me, like a couple of pounds when I'm still working out and still mostly eating well. That's kind of a big deal for me. So I'm abandoning for now the idea that it's the carbs in the zero, like newly 0 point foods that are doing this. So I am still eating oatmeal. I'm going to still, well, I have been eating like not a ton of potatoes, but I'm still going to use potatoes and lean, like ground beef, lean pork as 0 point foods, and just do that for a little minute and see what happens. And then if things, well, and see what happens. So let's talk about some potatoes. Like I said, did I even say, I haven't opened the cans yet, y'all, so we're going to discover these together. Because once again, if it's new to me, it's new to everybody. So let me open these and I'll be right back. All right, so I got mostly the same things, just different shapes. I got diced potatoes, whole new potatoes, and sliced potatoes. And the idea being, so we talked a couple weeks ago about boiling those little like new potatoes, putting them in the fridge, and then like you doing smashed potatoes for like a little quickie, like add to your breakfast or something. I was thinking maybe canned potatoes would be another like sort of keep that you can throw together quickly. Because y'all, potatoes take a little minute to cook. And of course I have shredded hash browns in the freezer, which I do actually think are 0 points because I think they're just shredded potato, but we'll get to those. Y'all settle down, one thing at a time. So let's dump these out and see what we actually have here. I don't know which kind of bowl. I'm going to try a flatty bowl and see if it doesn't get stuff oh, okay. So these looked at, so I started with the diced and they looked a little, I don't know, something. Hang on. There we go. Let me do that so I can pull it out a little. There we go. It looked a little mushy in the top of the can. Sorry, I just put my hair up in a pony after doing yoga and it's like all sticking to my lips. So it looked a little like mushy in the top of the can, but now they look nice. So let me tell y'all what. I like raw potatoes. I don't like sit around and eat a raw potato like an apple, but I like raw potatoes. So I'm going to taste these. And if it's just raw potatoes, then it's going to be all good. So that's the dices. Let's do whole potatoes in a bowl. Oh yeah, those are just like nice little firm peeled whole potatoes. And then here's slices. Now these do have, did y'all hear Lord Vader? These do have some salt. It's, I think, 12%. Okay, hang on, the whole can. So one serving is 2/3 of a cup, and it's all 0 points. Like you can eat 5 cans and it's still 0 points. I mean, that's a lot, but it's still 0 points. So, but one serving is 2/3 of a cup, and one serving has 280 milligrams of sodium, which is 12% of your daily allowance. I realized that, and it's also got something like some kind of ZM for firmness. I mean, who don't like a little firmness, really? I knew they had salt going in, and I was all right with it because I put, like when I boil potatoes for really anything, I put salt in them. So same for me. All right, so they look nice. Look, I like the little the uniformity of the little dices and the slices and the already peeledness of the whole potatoes. So if these are good, we might be onto something. So I'm going to just bite into one and see what we got. Oh, yeah. I taste no salt at all. First of all, if I were to cook these or like cook with these, I'd be adding salt. So maybe I eat more than 12% of my RDA of salt at any given time. They're already, and again, y'all, I'm acting like nobody knows anything about these because I know nothing about these, but that's an already fully cooked sliced potato. So if I'm going to make anything, that was the slices. So if I'm going to make anything with these, I'm going to like brown them quickly because if not, they're going to turn to paste. I'm guessing the dices are going to be the same way. Oh yeah, you can rinse that out and just like mix that into a potato salad or something. Am I going to bite into one of these whole potatoes like an apple? Like a pure D animal right here? Hang on. It's a nut. It's actually a nice I just did a Peter Brady. Did y'all hear my voice just then? It's actually a nice consistency. I have potato in my teeth because I bit into that thing. But it's actually a nice consistency, probably because of whatever they add for the firmness. It's just a little tiny bit firm. So that's nice. So, all right, we can add canned potatoes to our repertoire. And did y'all see, I got the Walmart brand. So they were less than, I don't know if it was much less than $1 per can, but it was less than $1 a can. I remember that. Maybe 81 cents a can, maybe 91 cents a can. Something tells me that early morning editing Danielle's going to be dropping the price in here, but they were all the same price, and it was like, I don't know, 81, 91 cents a can or something. So I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to clean this up. I don't know what I'm going to do with 3 open cans of cooked potatoes, but I'm going to get these out of the way. I'm going to get set up, and we're going to make some stuff, so y'all hang on. All right, y'all, let's throw some stuff together and see what we can make happen. Now, I was going to make a, potato bottom, some kind of bowl for dinner, because I told y'all the intern isn't around, right? So I'm kind of fending for myself for dinner. So I was going to use my frozen hash browns from the freezer. Frozen from the freezer. Of course they're in the freezer, Danielle. I was going to use my hash browns from the freezer as the bottom of my bowl, and I did look. Y'all, they are just shredded up potatoes, so they are 0 points. I was going to use those, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to use my new discovery. So I'm going to see what I can make happen with these diced potatoes. You know what just happened in my head? Potatoes became tomatoes, and I was like, oh, maybe we should throw some tomatoes on this thing too. I lost my Pam. Hang on. All right, so I'm going to throw just a tiny bit of toasted sesame oil. Ooh, that was a little tiny bit more than I meant to. In my pan. And let me heat that up just a bit. Y'all, I've not tried this. Y'all saw me open this can of potatoes a few minutes ago, so we're just going to see what happens. So I'm going to make this, but I'm going to make it quickly because there's something else I want to make that is lovely and delightful and delicious. And the other thing I have made before, and if the whole potato in the dish thing wasn't the theme of our video, I would have skipped this altogether and gone straight to our next thing because I am so excited to make it because I made it yesterday and it is so delicious. So let's make dinner and get it out of the way so then we can make the tasty bits. So as I mentioned not 3 minutes ago, these are completely cooked. So I'm just going to like heat them up quickly and hopefully get a bit of like some crust on them. And I'm going to throw in some seasoning. We're going to throw a little garlic in there. Hang on. All right, I'm going to put in some garlic right at the end of the cooking because y'all know we don't want to scald our garlic. Sorry, I know this is really noisy, but those are starting to get crispy. So I sauteed some onions and, I almost said onions and garlic. That's not right. Onions and peppers. So I'm going to throw those in. Yum. Now I think I might toss in a little bit of garlic. Because y'all remember, this is dinner. We are not making a breakfast thing. Not that I wouldn't put garlic in a breakfast thing. But at least if I was doing it in a breakfast thing, I would be a little apologetic. I ain't sorry at all about this. Oh my gosh, that smells good. Ooh, that's a lot of food right there. I'm going to throw in, I just chopped up a tomato. And I just like that changed my plan. So this looks really good. The potatoes are crisping up nicely, which I was worried that they wouldn't. I'm trying to stand a little bit away from that because the sizzle is so loud. So let me show y'all what I did. I made some little turkey meatballs, and these are just this like the plain old turkey meatballs that we always make. And I was going to throw them in there and mix it all up together, but now what I think I'm going to do is just eat this as a side dish with my turkey meatballs because now that's pretty substantial. So y'all, I'm pretty happy with that for dinner. So we made us a little, I don't even know what we just made, like a cubed hash browns with peppers and onions and garlic and tomatoes, and I'm like a southwestern hash brown. So I'm going to cut that off before I turn my potatoes to paste. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to eat the instant we stop talking, because once I eat, I can go clean up and then go sit on the couch and read books with my felons. So, y'all, here's the hero move. You can go ahead and thank me now, because you're going to be too busy drinking this later to thank me. So hang on, let me grab something. And y'all, we're about to make a super simple, very low point homemade hot chocolate. I know. And I'm pretty sure it's dairy free because I don't think that, I'm pretty sure that I know that cocoa doesn't count as dairy. So, okay, here's what you do. Get your pot and put you just a little bit of water in the bottom. And you can go ahead and start that cooking. Take you 2 teaspoons of Hershey's unsweet cocoa powder and throw it in that water. I did double check, make sure I'm doing teaspoons, not tablespoons. So 2 teaspoons. And now I use a spatula. I'm going to cut my heat back because that's pretty aggressive. And just smush and mush it around. Get all the lumps out of that chocolate. I could have used a little less water, but that's okay. I want to make sure my chocolate is completely melted and dissolved. Oh, I forgot I turned y'all that way. There we go. So work that over pretty good. Get all this stuff off your spatula. That's warm. Do not lick your finger because, y'all, that's not just chocolate. That's unsweet chocolate. Not that I've ever done that. I'm just saying don't do that. All right, so now we're going to use 1 cup of silk almond milk, which is 1 point, and 1 cup of, there it is. I put it in here because you got to shake it because this stuff's a little weird. but 3/4 of a cup of unsweet coconut milk. And y'all, you probably can't see it in there, but it's kind of thick and creamy. But when you first open it, like the white clumpy stuff is at the top, and then it's all just like water settled out. So you have to shake it real, real good. So that's why I have it in this like shaky bit. So I'm going to just see, look at the clumps there. So I'm going to use this really is 3/4 of a cup. I just made sure. And so I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there. Sorry, that's very wobbly. I'll cut my heat back up some. I should have shaken that up better. You can see clumps of my coconut milk in there, but that's all right. It'll break up as it gets warm. And I'm going to add in, I'm not going to add in all of my almond milk. I'm going to let this warm up. Yo, look how creamy that is. Now look, it's not like half and half. Like you're not making hot chocolate with heavy cream, but it's also not like 17 points. So calm down. It is very delicious. Let me say this. I don't taste the coconut in it, but I like coconut. So I kind of imagine if you didn't like coconut, this might not be the one for you. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in some monk fruit sweetener, and I'm going to do about a tablespoon and maybe just a bit more because I want it sweet, and monk fruit sweetener 0 points, so it ain't gonna hurt nothing. And so see, those clumps went away and it's just super creamy. So now you could probably just make it like that, but I'm gonna cut in some almond milk. Now, almond milk is a point, the unsweet almond milk is a point for a cup. So I'm going to use a cup. And I'm going to cut in about that much into the thing. And I'm going to heat it up well. And then watch this trick. I just want to make sure that's hot. That's hot. And now I'm gonna pour it up over the sink. Hang on, I'll be right back. So there's that, and I'm gonna top it off with the rest of this almond milk, which is gonna bring it down closer to riding temperature so I can actually drink it. Now you could have heated the whole thing up, or you could have not heated it all up, like heated it up to just a normal temperature. See how steamy that is? It's hot chocolate. I want it hot. That's really good, y'all. It's very chocolatey and it's creamy. I could use maybe a little bit more monk fruit in it, but I'm not going to because I don't want it like sweet, but it's very good. And I believe, hang on, let me check and make sure. I know the almond milk is 1 point. So the coconut milk is 2 points for 3/4 of a cup. So it's 3 points for this whole cup of tasty chocolatey treat, because 2 teaspoons is 2/3 of a tablespoon of cocoa powder. And 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder is 1 point. Anything less than a tablespoon is no points. So you could do, I'm sure you could do less coconut milk if you wanted to, but let me see, hang on. Let's do a little I almost said Walmart math. What? No. Let's do a little Weight Watchers math real quick. Oh yeah, it's 1/4 of a cup is a point. A half a cup is 1 point, and then anything over half a cup is 2 points, up until probably a cup And then that's where you hit, no, yeah, 7/8 of a cup is 3 points. So you can mess with your coconut milk if you want, but I wanted it to be super creamy. So I did the 3/4 of a cup and took the 2 points. So y'all, I hope you try it and I hope you like it. Let us know in the comments. Are you eating more potatoes? If so, how are you eating your potatoes? And what is it doing to your like daily eating? Is it making you more full? That's what I'm hoping for. Because if I eat oatmeal, it makes me more full than like eating a big old bowl of Greek yogurt. So I'm hoping that between the oatmeal and the potatoes, that I will be more full and have more energy during the day. So let me know what you're finding. If you're eating more oatmeal and more potatoes, now that they're 0 points, what is that doing to your fullness and your energy level? Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.